Timberwolves Lakers, tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern on NBA TV.
So give Casey and the guys a call at 1-833-267-6659. That's 1-83-FANS-ONLY. And it's a big game, y'all. Timberwolves and Lakers, a must-win for the guys in blue tonight. 10:30, it is the debut of Fans Only tonight on NBA TV. And this guy right here is all about the fans. Live from L.A., we welcome three-point pioneer Dennis 3D Scott. And DZ, we know Jimmy Butler, or he's at least likely to return tonight. If he comes back, DZ, will his return throw off the Timberwolves?
Well, Rick, it may throw him off a little bit because they haven't seen him in a while. But let's face it, they need Jimmy Butler back. They need his leadership. They need his scoring. More importantly, they need some impact on the defensive end because teams have been able to score on them since he's been hurt. So if you need to see your Wolves go, ow, again with Fans Only, Jimmy Butler needs to play well tonight if he plays.
No question about that. And so, of course, he did not play last night. He was in uniform on the bench on TNT as the Wolves lost a heartbreaker to the Nuggets. And we've been talking about how critical that is with the standings boards and the whole thing. People know Minnesota's 8 and Denver's 9. But Karl-Anthony Towns last night, DZ, plagued by foul trouble, eventually fouled out of the game. What is going to be the most important thing for him tonight to stay on the floor and help the Wolves?
Well, be able to get off to a fast start. You know, recently we know with Cat, if you can get him some easy layups or some easy touches around the basket, it gives him energy and gives him confidence on the defensive end to play solid defense, contest shots without fouling so he can stay on the floor. But back to your first question, with Jimmy hopefully playing tonight, maybe those guys can get back to that little feeling they had maybe a month or so ago before Jimmy got hurt when they were winning ball games.
3D, Smitty, the question for me is, we know Karl-Anthony Towns, Wiggins, also Jimmy Butler, even Derrick Rose. I don't think Jeff Teague, a guy we saw here in Atlanta, gets enough credit for what he's done in Minnesota. How important is Teague to this team?
He's very important, Smitty, because we understand that Teague's one of those mild-mannered guys that he's not rah-rah, doesn't do a whole lot of yelling. But he puts his impact on the game when he's healthy and feeling confident about himself. And he came out in the media a few weeks ago and said maybe the bench should play a little bit more because, let's face it, Tibbs only goes 7 deep. So when Teague gets right mentally and feeling healthy about himself, we know he can impact the game.
3D, it's Mike Fratello. How important is it for Minnesota as a franchise to make the playoffs this season?
Coach, it is super imperative they figure out a way and win these last couple games and make the playoffs. Just talking to people out here in L.A. and around basketball world, they say, how can Embiid be healthy, Ben Simmons be healthy, and people are proving now those two guys can lead a young team to the playoffs. Why is it taking so long for Wiggins and Towns to be consistent enough, and why they're not making the playoffs? And then some fans, there's Fans Only, Rick, Smitty, and Coach, they're saying, what's going on? Did they trade the wrong guy in Minnesota? So it should be a fun night here for Fans Only night on NBA TV.
So the fans can call in right now, DZ, they're telling me, and you are Mr. Players Only, and now you're Mr. Fans Only. I want you to give Casey Stern, Brendan Haywood, and Grant Hill some advice as they host the debut of Fans Only tonight.
Well, first thing they need to do is dig deep into their soul and remember their favorite basketball player as a kid and let that fan come out. Because I have Shaq over here, I got Jerry West over here, and I got Elgin Baylor getting a statue behind me. Because I'm a big old fan tonight, baby.
So, DZ, call the people you know with the Orlando Magic and have them construct a statue of you outside Amway Center. Hey, man, all kidding aside, DZ, have yourself a blast tonight. We will be watching Fans Only, Timberwolves, and Lakers. Leave it.
That's my statue right there. Leave it.
I love it, DZ. Have a good one, man.
3D's just going to get an arm. Well, following through.
That's my guy right there.
The wrist.
Yes.
So, on the Fans Only tip, I want to ask you guys, and of course, great player, great coach. You've been great analysts for a long time, but go into your fandom here for a minute. What is your favorite moment as a fan, both of you guys?
I think me, Coach, going back 1979, seeing Irvin Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird, the way our family gathered around the TV, Coach, to watch that national championship. you know, if you've seen a lot of great players, but having those two guys, it just seemed like following Magic Johnson, because he was from the state of Michigan, along with Larry Bird, just following those two guys' trajectory and the way they've took college basketball to another level, Coach. And then also they took the NBA to another level, and they just kept competing for championships at every level. And next for me was getting a chance to rebound for George Gervin, because he was from city of Detroit. Those two guys, you know, had my fan. I'm still a fan of those two guys, Coach, and still a fan of the game.
Probably thinking back because of the relationship that I had with Chuck Daly, sitting in the stands watching the Pistons win the championship versus the Trailblazers at that time, and going after the game to the post-game celebration that they had in the ballroom that they had rented out in case they should end it that night and win it that night, and just seeing what it was about for the players and their families and the staff, and sitting there saying, you know, someday that would be a great thing to be a part of, you know, put that carrot out in front and kind of shoot for that. Just watching Chuck win it and the team win it was big. It was a great night watching that.
That's